So how do you keep good running form when we are running slower? So this is a question that I got asked in the comments, and it is a question that I get asked a lot because most runners find their easy runs or their slower runs a lot more challenging, a lot harder. They find it a lot more impactful on the body, and they just don't understand how to quite pace and keep that good running form as they slow down. So over the last decade, I've worked with hundreds of runners improving their running form, analysing their running form through video, working with them to give them tips and techniques to improve their running form and ultimately help them run better. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the common mistakes we make when we're running at a slower, easier pace. And then I'm going to give you some technique and tips on how you can improve your running form when running slower so that it feels less impactful, it feels less heavy, it feels lighter, more efficient, and it feels easier. So when we practice good habits in our running posture, that's going to help us be a bit more aware of what is happening. We're not going to be as slouched over. It's not going to be as heavy with every single step. We're going to be a little bit more active, so we're actively thinking about lifting the head up from the crown of the head, which will keep the spine long. It'll think about pulling us upwards, which then makes sure we have to engage the core and we have to look forwards rather than, again, the neck down and about slouching, which just wastes a whole lot of energy. And it also feels just a lot harder to get the body to move from this position again onto the other foot, one after the other. If we're more alert, more awake, more active, but not overly active, not overly tense, we're much more using that elasticity, using that nice springiness of the muscles and tendons throughout the body as our foot contacts the floor, and as that movement energy travels up through the body, it's going to move through the body more efficiently and actively. So in this clip, you'll see me running at 3 different paces with the same cadence, but with a different stride length. And those are the 2 key things, is the cadence and the stride length, because what tends to happen is when most runners run slower, we are already running in a slower cadence, and we tend to then go into a more bounding, sort of heavier, impactful. It's a lot heavier on the joints, it's a lot heavier on the muscles, because the muscles had to work harder to generate the force to move us forwards. And like I said, it's more like a bound from one leg to the other. So we need to be trying to improve our cadence. And then some common issues when we're improving our cadence, when we're increasing it into that 175 or 180 zone, is that we then start to run quicker. And that's something that I've seen working with clients over the last 10 years, that all of a sudden they think that moving their feet faster means running faster. So we can practice that 175 to 180 steps per minute cadence on the spot. So again, we're just jogging on the spot with that 175 to 180 steps per minute cadence. And this is the light, springy elasticity that we want to be tapping into. And we can feel again that there's that sense of lightness and springiness. If we're doing a slower cadence, again, you can feel how heavy that is. But as you can see from these drills of the running on the spot, you can run with a 180 to 175 cadence, running on the spot, and then just moving very slowly off, still with that same cadence, but just with a shorter stride length. So that's how we get round it, with that shorter stride length. And we need to practice that shorter stride length with that higher cadence. So practice that cadence, that 180 cadence, jogging on the spot, and then just starting to move off really slowly with that short stride. So that's going to help us feel more light, more efficient, less impactful, and less heavy on the body, because that heavy, bounded, impactful running form just takes a lot more muscular power to generate, again, from one foot to the other. And it also will cause a lot of neck issues and a lot of back issues. It's going to cause a lot of biomechanical issues, because again, we're kind of slouched, we're heavy. So when we're using those running form tips and we're being a bit more alert and active and lighter, we are going to be more, again, active in those areas, which is more efficient, because the movement energy, as the foot hits the floor and we get that movement energy springing through the body, that will spring through those muscles and tendons in a much more efficient way, rather than getting stuck and bogged down in certain places. So practice that cadence drill and then start to incorporate it into your runs. Now, it's really important. It does take conscious effort, so it will feel like maybe brain and body will just feel a little bit more overworked because you're consciously having to change, you're learning, you're changing something. So it's a process. So when you start to include this into your running routine, make sure you focus on maybe if you go for a 30-minute recovery run, do little intervals within that of working on this new running form. So maybe do 3 to 5 minutes within your 30-minute interval, then have a 3 to 5 minute rest, and do repeats of that until you've finished your 30-minute recovery run. And again, so when you can start to progress that, you can then start to maybe build up to 10 minutes of this new light and easy and more efficient running form. And then gradually it will start to seep into your whole running routine on your easier, more recovery run. If you need a little bit more help and guidance with this, you can have a look in the link in the description below at the free 7-day program, or you can have a look at runbetterwithash.com at the coaching options, and I will be able to help you and guide you and ultimately help you run better. So the key is to start small and short, like anything. Don't overdo it, don't do too much too soon. Start to incorporate this slowly. Practice it, practice the jogging on the spot with that quicker, lighter cadence. Get that feel of what it feels like to be nice and light and springy, and then you can start that really slow moving off, and you can practice that, and then it will start to become a little bit more natural. So that is how you can keep good running form when you are running slower. It will feel less impactful on the joints. You will use less muscular effort to propel your body forward, and it will ultimately help you run better. So have fun trying this new technique, and let me know how it goes in the comments, and maybe share this with a running buddy that would benefit from this video. If there's something that you're struggling with in your running routine, maybe leave a comment down below and I might be able to do a video for you on that issue. But happy running, and don't forget, don't skip the stretch.